Happy Monday, and I hope you guys are starting off to a very good week. I am here with a Monday morning channeled message for you. So, over the course of last week, I kept getting the word sabbatical. Sabbatical kept coming to mind, and I've heard it in the past, and I've heard people use it in terms, but I never really understood what it meant verbatim, so I searched it up, and sabbatical, or Sabbath in Hebrew, sabbatica or sabbatico in Greek, sabbatica in Latin, means a rest from work. And it's an extended period of time dedicated to something other than your routine job. And it dawned on me when I read that over the last few months, I have taken several sabbaticals. So I guess you could say that channeling messages and posting on my social media pages, and then obviously, my day-to-day tasks as being a mother, is my primary job in life right now at this time. So I've been taking times off from social media, from doing the routine jobs I do every day to kind of rest, decompress, and just come back to neutral. So over the weekend, I took a quote-unquote sabbatical, and I traveled to a small town in northern Michigan. And let me tell you the eye-openers just from traveling out of the city it was for me, detaching from social media, detaching from internet, detaching from the fast-paced day-to-day routines and the need to have to complete certain things in a certain order at a certain time from morning until night, and getting out of my head and just getting into my body was amazing. So I guess the message for you this week is one that I have talked about before, but now from a new perspective. It's grounding. Grounding. So when we hear grounding, if you're in the spiritual community or if you know a little bit about it, you immediately think about planting your feet barefoot firmly on the earth ground, or taking a spiritual bath, or just taking a bath, or stepping outside into nature and taking a walk, and so on. What I found interesting is realizing that obviously grounding is the opposite of being ungrounded, which to me would be high up in your head, in your mental state, instead of being in your physical state. So my first key of advice from Divine is to use whatever it is that will take you out of the mental and put you back into the physical. If you know what that is, great. You need to do more of that this week. If you don't know what that is, you need to figure that out for yourself. Trial and error, finding what works for you to get you out of your headspace. So, for me, over the weekend, being in this small town, not a lot of noise, not a lot of traffic. Small community of people, very, very good people. Everyone seems to know each other. Everyone is very polite. Everyone holds very good, interesting, and delightful conversations. I go into the local diner to have breakfast, and you can hear groups of people chit-chatting about really funny things that have happened to them over the day or two, and the waitresses intermingling with them because they know them so well, and everyone being so welcoming to myself and stirring up conversation with me even though I am not a local and they don't know me. And then, going to the farmer's market where I would go from table to table, and every single person that worked at that farmer's market knows each other. They're all friends. They all kept very interesting, good, delightful conversations with myself. it took me out of my head and really brought me to the, hey, I'm here right now. These people are awesome. I'm here. I'm talking to them. We are sharing an experience. I feel unstressed. My body feels great. I feel really grounded because it was all these things of conversating and connecting, the connectedness with other people, like actually speaking and having and holding real in live time conversations with others made me feel so connected and so grounded. It was beautiful. And then just going back to my cabin and resting and not having to worry about getting up and having to do anything, having to do laundry, having to make breakfast, lunch, or dinner, having to drive someone here or drive someone there. Just went with the flow, just laid and rested when I needed to, got up and walked around when I needed to, ate if I needed to, or chose not to. It was beautiful. And to me, that was like a mini sabbatical / grounding time for me. And I also find that when I'm grounded and I get out of my headspace and back into my physical body, it's a shocker and it's quite like crazy to me that I tap into my spirituality more, and I'm more tapped into my ability to channel messages and to get downloads and to see things. I don't know, it just clears my vision. It helps me see things from a much more clear mindset. So over the weekend, I did get so many channeled messages, and they're not all tied into each other. They're literally separate situations that I am going to be talking about and posting on my pages this week. But I really wanted to jumpstart the week with this message because it's really important, Spirit says, for you to figure out what it is that will get you out of your head and to feel your feelings and to be so very present in the right now. Because for me, in my opinion, I feel like the shift of people becoming disconnected happened around 2020 when the world went into lockdown mode and people were forced into seclusion, and the only way of feeling connected to people outside of their homes were through internet and TikToks and podcasts and YouTube videos and all that, chat messages, group chats, whatever they needed to do to get through. But at the end of that, when everything kind of came to an end and we started coming out of our houses and coming back into society, I feel like I kind of, just going to speak for myself, I guess, but I feel like a lot of people had an addiction to cell phones. It is what it is. It's a really hard addiction to beat. And I feel like because of that, our ability and skill set outside the home to intermingle and to communicate and to socialize properly has been kind of hindered. So especially here in the city, I feel like we could be walking in a crowd of 100 people and still be completely unnoticed and unseen and unheard, like invisible. It's like we have all these people shoulder to shoulder, but no one sees each other because we're paying attention to what's on our phone. And that is not reality. That is a glimpse into other people's realities, but you are missing the reality in front of your face as you're paying attention to realities that are going on miles away, hundreds of miles away, across the earth. Yes, it's a great thing, and it's a great tool to be able to experience things from our phones. While it's a blessing, we can't take advantage of it because we're really missing out on the beauty that's happening right in front of us and the connections, the missed connections, because maybe we were too busy scrolling through Facebook or taking a selfie or listening to a podcast. Meanwhile, the person next to us was willing and able to talk and hold a decent conversation and get us out of our headspace and distract us from technology for a minute. So that is the advice for you, is to try to find whatever it is this week to help you get out of your head, get out of your phone, and get back to reality, because you're going to find when you disconnect from technology and start communicating and socializing and letting that tension release from your body, you're going to feel great. Your perception and your vision is going to become more clear, and you're going to be able to see things from a much higher vibrational perception than you did before. So if you're going into a project or something at work where you need to hone in on ideas or even remember certain things more functionally, this would be a good way to do that. You know, it could be working out, going to the gym, getting in your body, lifting weights, walking, getting physical. Like physical exercise can be amazing for grounding. Talk to people at the gym. Don't hold back. Don't plug yourself in. Try to make connections there. Maybe make some new friends. You know, whatever it is that you decide to do, you may have to try a few things. You may trial and error all week, but by the end of the week, hopefully you found that niche, something that really stuck with you, that helps you get out of the headspace. So that is your Monday morning message. I sure hope it helped, and I will catch you on the next one. Have a great day. Bye.